Cardinals, Tony La Russa. Leading off, the designated hitter from the Colorado Rockies, Carlos Gonzalez. Batting second, the center fielder from the San Francisco Giants, Melky Cabrera. Batting third and playing left field from the Milwaukee Brewers, Ryan Braun. Batting fourth and playing first base from the Cincinnati Reds, Joey Votto. Batting fifth and playing right field from the St. Louis Cardinals, Carlos Beltran. Batting sixth, the catcher from the San Francisco Giants, Buster Posey. Batting seventh, playing third base from the San Francisco Giants, Pablo Sandoval. Batting eighth and playing second base from the Atlanta Braves, Dan Uggla. Batting ninth and playing shortstop from the St. Louis Cardinals, Rafael Furcal. And the starting pitcher warming up in the bullpen from the San Francisco Giants, Matt Cain. And now let's meet the American League manager and starting lineup. The manager from the back-to-back American League champion Texas Rangers, Ron Washington. Leading off and playing shortstop from the New York Yankees, Derek Jeter. Batting second and playing second base from the New York Yankees, Robinson Cano. Batting third and playing left field from the Texas Rangers, Josh Hamilton. Batting fourth and playing right field from the Toronto Blue Jays, Jose Bautista. Batting fifth, the first baseman from the Detroit Tigers, Prince Fielder. Batting sixth and playing third base from the Texas Rangers, Adrian Beltre. Batting seventh, the designated hitter from the Boston Red Sox, David Ortiz. Batting eighth and catching from the Texas Rangers, Mike Napoli. Batting ninth and playing center field from the New York Yankees, Curtis Granderson. The starting pitcher warming up in the bullpen from the Detroit Tigers, Justin Verlander. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2012 American League and National League All-Stars. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the Star Spangled Banner as we continue from Kansas City, Missouri at the All-Star Game. on Fox. And now, to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome platinum-selling superstar Luke Bryan.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That B-2 stealth bomber just came and went to Kansas City. Here's Paul McCartney as we get closer to first pitch.
12 sweet and fine. I'm gonna stand there on the corner. 12 sweet and fine. With my Kansas City baby, bottle of Kansas.
Chevrolet All-Star pregame show on Fox. You know it by now. It's the best of the American League against the best of the National League at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. As we get close to first pitch, and now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. Tim McCarver is coming right up. Okay, it's hot. it's a steamy night in Kansas City, but it should be hot. These players are hot. You got young and old coming together, the best of the NL, the best of the AL, and Tim McCarver slides on into the picture, and we got some kids. That's dominated the conversation about this game, and it should, because this game has really had some young talent infused into it.
Yeah, there's something different about this game because of that infusion of young talent. 19 players under 26 years old. That's been 45 years since the All-Star game in 1967, when that was last the case. I think what it proves, the game ages, but it never grows old.
One guy who has aged gracefully and seemingly aged right before our very own eyes, Chipper Jones. This will be his last go-around. He has said that this is his last year in the big leagues, and he will have, I'm sure, a fun night here in Kansas City.
And it seems like yesterday when he was younger than springtime.
Yeah, he came up as a shortstop. Now he's a Hall of Fame-bound third baseman and the face of the franchise in Atlanta. We get set for baseball. It's Justin Verlander against Matt Cain. We are going to Kansas City. We're here.
Kansas City. Kansas City, here I come. Yes, Kansas City. Kansas City, here I come. Got a crazy way of loving. I'm gonna give me some.
Sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. By MasterCard, proud supporter of Stand Up to Cancer and helping you dine and be generous. By Taco Bell, sometimes you got to live Moss. And by Samsung, the next big thing is here. Justin Verlander walked out there by himself. And now everybody else follows him onto the field. The American League All-Star starters are behind him. And Verlander, in my opinion, the best in the business, getting set to take on the National League. Once again, the starting lineup for the NL brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Carlos Gonzalez, they call him Cargo, leads off the DH. Then Melky Cabrera, who played with the Royals. That's why he got the big ovation. Ryan Braun in left. Joey Votto cleans up. Carlos Beltran was a Rookie of the Year here with the Royals in '99. Buster Posey, Pablo Sandoval, Dan Ugla, and Rafael Furcal is the shortstop batting at the number 9 spot. Now a look at the AL defense with Josh Hamilton in left, Granderson in center, Jose Bautista in right, Adrian Beltre, Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano, Prince Fielder, Mike Napoli does the catching, and he was excited. He told us to get to catch Justin Verlander, and he is doing that as we speak. And the opening pitch will be brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Let's learn more about this right-hander who, well, I said it, he's the best in the business. Your opinion?
I agree with you. 2011 MVP and Cy Young Award winner. That's the first time that's happened since 1992. 6 innings plus 60 straight starts. That is unbelievable. Steve Carlton, the last guy with more at 69 straight starts about 30 years ago.
And once again, the opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And here comes Carlos Gonzalez, who has hit in the leadoff spot before. Budweiser helped to bring you Baseball Night in America, the most recent batch of games, and they're always with us here at Fox, and we appreciate it. Gonzalez first up. He'll be followed by Melky Cabrera, Ryan Braun, and if you're Justin Verlander, he told you earlier in the year he likes to get into the rhythm of the game and then light up a radar gun late. He won't have that luxury tonight.
No, not tonight, because he'll only work 2 innings max. So we'll see how fast, starting out at 97. He rarely does that early in the game when he's expected to go 6 or 7 innings.
Carlos Gonzalez is playing in his 3rd All-Star game. That's down and in. He won a Gold Glove Award and a batting title in 2010. And he is just one of the game's best young pure hitters. Russa tapped him to be the DH. There were other options. There are plenty of options for any manager in an All-Star game. And look out. Gonzalez loses his bat, and it sails over the American League dugout. And hopefully everybody's okay down on that right side.
How about Ford Keys tonight? You know, this group of players have never played together. So how are we going to come up with Keys? Any ideas?
Well, you see, La Russa, that makes me think of R.A. Dickey not getting the start tonight. And we'll talk about that. Right. Matt Cain does get the ball. And 3rd time around for him, Ron Washington, back-to-back American League pennants for the Texas Rangers. And they're pointed back there again. On a swing. And Gonzalez goes down swinging. A strikeout start after the Ford go further Keys to the game. And let's take a look at the umpires tonight. It's an honor for these guys. And Jerry Davis gets the plate. He's the crew chief. His 4th All-Star game. And in case this scares you, the last time he was behind the plate in an All-Star game was the 2002 tie in Milwaukee. You saw Jim Joyce, Brian Runge, Tony Randazzo, Brian Knight down the right field line, Lance Barksdale down the left field line, and here is the guy who's #1 in the major leagues with a hit total of 119 hits.
After 201 for Kansas City last year.
And let's call it 120. That's a little floater into left center field, and the guy with electric shoes is on with 1 out here in the 1st inning, and all he's done is rededicate himself to this game, Tim, and it's paid off with stats for the Giants, and a big reason why they're right there in the NL West.
There was a very interesting article in the New York Times about a month ago about Melky Cabrera, and some quotes by Kevin Long, who is the hitting instructor for the Yankees, saying that Melky, it's good for him that he has finally dedicated himself to playing baseball and baseball only. A-Rod, a very close friend of Melky Cabrera.
Fastball's high to Ryan Braun. And one final note about Cabrera, if we don't get to it as this game wears on. You mentioned A-Rod. Earlier in the year, he said Cabrera is a 6-tool player to him. He could do everything. He's got pop. And the 6th tool is that he's proven he can play in New York. And he's on everybody's radar when he gets loose and on the open market. He can hit. Switch hitter with power.
Signed a 1-year deal with San Francisco this year. If he continues, it's going to be interesting for a multi-year contract.
2-0 the count on Ryan Braun, who is the reigning National League MVP. He went from learning he was the MVP to finding out that he could be suspended 50 games for testing positive for a performance-enhancing drug. An arbitrator then dismissed that because of the way the sample was handled. So no suspension, and here he is right back in the All-Star game with a .306 average and leading the National League with 24 home runs. Former infielder now playing the outfield, and he bats with 1 on, 1 out. Here's a 2-1. Fly ball into right. Back is the right fielder Bautista on the run, can't get there. Up against the wall, and Cabrera will fly all the way around from first. There is no play, and it's 1-0 National League on an RBI double by the MVP, Ryan Braun.
I think Ryan Braun is miffed that he didn't try to go to third with 1 out. He hits this ball a ton to right field. Jose Bautista with a little problem with the sun. He doesn't pick this ball up right away. You can imagine how tough that is. Short hops the fence, a ball that normally Braun would be on third base, but he had to look at Cabrera when he was on second, and it was too late to go to third.
So it's an RBI double. It's 1-0 National League, the side that's won each of the last 2 All-Star games. And Joey Votto waits for the first and now takes outside from Verlander, who has allowed back-to-back hits and now falls behind a guy who leads the National League in on-base percentage. And if you're looking for the game's best pure hitter, maybe from the left side, this is the guy. Here's a 1-0. 1-1.
Tom Verducci of Sports Illustrated had a phenomenal stat on Joey Votto. Joey told Tom that over the last 6 years, he has pulled 1 ball foul into the stands down the right field line. That to me is just mind-blowing.
Here's a 1-1. That's a bit high, says the home plate umpire Jerry Davis. The count 2-1. For Votto, he got in 2 years ago on that final vote online where the fans put him in. Last year, the player vote as a dog named Maris, and this year he goes in as a starter. That's low, and all of a sudden Verlander's wondering what's going on here in the first inning in Kansas City. 3-1. Votto leads the league in doubles. He leads the league in walks. Finally gets a chance to start. He's got an RBI opportunity here in the first inning tonight. Here is a 3-1. Full count. 99 from Verlander to run it full. If we get the chance, Chipper Jones, who spoke to the National League side before tonight's game, gave that speech, and we'll give you a bit of it. If we get a chance here after Votto does something with a runner at second, 1 out. It's still full.
We asked Chipper before the game if his speech was prepared. He said, nope, I'm winging it. After 19 years with the Braves, you can't wing anything you want to do.
Came up as a shortstop, played some outfield, now a third baseman. And he is Hall of Fame bound, you'd have to believe. 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, got him looking 2 out. Votto was looking for the fastball, and he got a breaking ball from Verlander. Good time for that. 2 down.
Verlander's thrown 2 breaking balls, both for strikeouts. He struck out Cargo on a breaking ball, and now he gets Joey Votto.
So he can run it up there at 99, and then he can snap a curveball like that. And Beltran, who, as I mentioned, won the Rookie of the Year award here, came up with the Royals. Won that award back in 99 bats with a runner at second, 2 out. He's first pitch swinging, strike 1. Carlos has had a big year in St. Louis. And in essence, Tim is the guy they signed to replace the bat and the presence of Albert Pujols in the Cardinal lineup,
And he has.
he's outperformed Pujols to this point this season with 20 homers and 65 RBIs.
Yep.
That's high, a ball and a strike. On deck is Buster Posey as the National League has scored a run here in the first. Starting lineup that features 6 first-time starters for Tony La Russa. He came out of retirement to manage in this 83rd MLB All-Star game.
Yeah, he is actually a non-active manager. He's the 4th. John McGraw back in 33, Danny Murtaugh in 72, and Bob Lemon in 1979.
That's down and away, and again Verlander falls behind a hitter 3-1. He just did that with Votto and came back to get him, and now he is 3-1 on Beltran. Seventh All-Star game for Beltran, and he went up there ready to pump, and it's a full count on a 99-mile-per-hour pitch.
You may hit this pitch if it were down, but up like that, no chance.
So Verlander's trying to limit the damage, and a high pitch count may force him to work only 1 inning tonight. That was not the plan. So he's over 20 pitches here in the first inning, and even though he hit 100 miles per hour, you know, that's the hard thing for these managers. If you're Ron Washington or Tony La Russa, how long do you go with somebody else's valuable pitcher? In this case, it's Verlander. I'm sure Jim Leyland is paying attention wherever he may be on this Tuesday night.
Tigers have won 5 in a row. They're hot going into the break.
Here's a 3-2. The walk, and here's Chipper Jones to his teammates before the game.
Look, you guys belong here, all right? Doesn't matter whether you're 19 or you're 40, like me, all right? We are all equals here. 1-2, win 3, that's a winning streak. We got an opportunity to do that tonight. And I am not going out losing my last one, all right? So you with me? That's what I'm talking about.
So he doesn't want to go out a loser. It wasn't exactly win one for the Kipper, but they gave him an all right and then a nice round of applause. And there's nothing but respect in that clubhouse for one of the game's best.
Now, there are 2 guys that don't want to go out as losers, Tony La Russa and Chipper Jones.
There's Chipper Jones, who we'll talk more about when he gets into the ballgame. In his 19th season at his 8th All-Star game. Here's a 1-0. 2-0. And that's going to bring Mike Maddox out to talk to Verlander. So you've got Maddox, the pitching coach for the Rangers, out to try and help Verlander settle in. It's still just a 1-0 game, but he's behind Posey 2-0. The great George Brett throughout tonight's ceremonial first pitch.
We were watching him go out, and Joe, you remarked about how well George Brett carries himself. I mean, throwing from the mound, he threw a bullet to home plate.
I mean, and now you see David Price get up in the bullpen. You know, for somebody like me that grew up here in the Midwest, seeing George Brett and just getting a chance to be around him is thrilling. And they still love him here in Kansas City. Now the count's 3-0 on Posey. 2010 Rookie of the Year in his first All-Star game, and at the bottom of this inning he'll be catching his teammate Matt Cain. They'll be leading by at least 1. Posey spins out of there, and Verlander can't find the strike zone. The bases are loaded. This is something that happens in an All-Star game that makes it so unique. And somebody like Bryce Harper on the left. Talking to George Brett on the right. 99 Hall of Fame inductee, 13-time All-Star, talking to the 19-year-old phenom from the Washington Nationals.
who is the first and youngest position player in All-Star history. The youngest position player and third youngest, Doc Gooden of the Mets, the youngest back in 1984.
You'd have to search to find a more puzzling first inning from Verlander, who can't again find strike one, this time on Sandoval.
4 straight balls to Posey. 5 in a row out of the strike zone.
And Sandoval was ready to hammer it. Sandoval's in his second All-Star game now. Joe Nathan, who's the closer for the Rangers, getting loose. Casey has to come in and bail the American League out of this top of the first. Still only 1 run is scored. Sandoval hitting .307. 8 homers, 30 RBIs. Verlander. That's a fly ball into right. Back into the corner. Bautista can't get there, and it's fair. Gets away from Bautista. 3 runs are going to score. And Sandoval ends up at third base. He's just made it 4-0 National League. So Verlander got the nod. He has allowed 3 hits, 2 walks. And the National League, which has won the last 2 All-Star games, has a 4-run first inning, and they're not finished.
That's a curveball after 2 fastballs. And this ball just fair down the right field line. Just fair by about 2 feet. Sandoval, who was 1 for 1 in Arizona, where the All-Star game was played last year, a big 1 for 1 here in the first inning.
And when the voting ended, Sandoval was on top at the third base position as Dan Uggla, the Atlanta Braves second baseman. Sandoval gets the start. David Wright, who's having maybe the best start and best first half of his tremendous young career, is on the bench watching, and it's Sandoval who gets the big hit. Now Uggla fouls away strike 1. That, by the way, for Sandoval, his first triple in 2012. And it comes here in Kansas City on July 10th at the All-Star game. Now a 1-1 from Verlander. Ground ball left side. Jeter in the hole. Has to make a phenomenal play. Cannot. It's 5-0 as Sandoval scores on what should be an infield RBI hit for Dan Uggla. And it is a 5-run first inning, and we'll see if Verlander will continue.
This is just shocking. Jeter does what he can, leaps, throws, tries to bounce it, but Uggla beat the play. He gets by Prince Fielder. 5 earned runs for the National League here in the top of the first inning.
Last time they scored as many runs in an inning, you have to go back to 2003, and these games are typically dominated by the good pitching that we see and the great velocity, the great stuff. Not tonight. Furcal fouls it back as the National League bats around here in the first inning on Justin Verlander. The guy who has the most wins in the big league since 2009. 2 no-hitters. One of the faces of the game as he chops one for Call to Cano in the top of the first inning. He is finally over. The National League gets 5 runs from Matt Cain. What a swing by Sandoval. City, Missouri. It's a 5-0 game. NL on top. Once again, the starting lineup for the American League brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Derek Jeter leads it off at short. Robinson Cano, his teammate. Josh Hamilton hits third. Jose Bautista is in right. Prince Fielder. Adrian Beltre of the Rangers. David Ortiz, the DH. Mike Napoli, the catcher. And Curtis Granderson, like another leadoff hitter, batting that 9 spot in center field. Here's Jeter. There's Matt Cain, and the big right-hander, just 27 years old, pitches with a 5-0 lead in the first inning. That's hard to believe.
9-3 on the year. Look at that earned run average, and a perfect game to his credit. The first in San Francisco Giant history.
That happened on June 13th against the Astros. He had a couple of great catches happen behind him to make it official as Jeter takes a strike in the count 1-1. Derek making his 8th start. It's his 13th All-Star game, the 96 Rookie of the Year. Last year not there when we got together in Phoenix, and he is back in the starting lineup and now in the hole 1 and 2. So Jeter, Cano, and Hamilton against Matt Cain, who's thrown the most innings in the National League since 2009. He is a workhorse for Bruce Bochy. 1-2 pitch, another foul. Take a look at the defense for the National League. They've got Ryan Braun in left, Melky Cabrera in center, and Carlos Beltran in right. Pablo Sandoval got the biggest hit already. For Carl is a shortstop. Dan Uggla at second. Joey Votto is at first. Buster Posey tried to smother that one on a pitch down and away, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jeter 10th in the American League with that .308 average. And another foul as he's proving to be a tough out. Give you the scouting report from Matt Cain. I think I stole your thunder.
No, you didn't. Perfect game on June 13th against the Houston Astros, and the most innings in the major leagues pitched since 2009. He is a workhorse indeed.
I did steal your thunder. That's exactly what I said 48 seconds ago. I apologize. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Jeter chops it left side. Sandoval can't make the play for Kyle. Can't either. And Jeter is on to start the night for the American League with an infield base hit.
I don't guess Sandoval made contact. Yes, he did. I thought with the naked eye that he did touch the ball. For Kyle making an unusual play, and a great play to back it up, take it off the glove, but too late for Jeter and a base hit.
So 1 on with nobody out for Robinson Cano, who's booed here because he did not pick Billy Butler, the hometown Royals, for the home run hitting contest. The captains get to choose their squad. Fans here wanted Butler selected. And last night the fans got all over Cano as he went homerless in the home run derby.
What a deafening response to Billy Butler being announced today. For about a minute and a half.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
There's Joe Nathan. So Verlander is finished. He'll face 9 batters and allow 5 runs on 4 hits. A 35-pitch first inning for Verlander, and his night is over. Two walks mixed in there, 2 strikeouts. Crowd chanting Billy Butler. Strike 2. But all Billy can do is just sit and watch at his first All-Star game, the DH for the Royals. And even in this big park, he has proven he can hit the home run ball. Here's a 1-2. Cano. 2 balls, 2 strikes on a guy who many believe, including the 2 of us, that he is the toughest out for the first place New York Yankees, who enter the break 7 games up in the AL East. Here's a 2-2. Count.
We're going to try to show you a split screen later in the game of Robbie Cano and Josh Hamilton. To me, those two left-handed hitters have the most tension swings in the major leagues. It's tension-free.
Infield hit started this inning, and now a full count and check on Jeter. That ball almost took off on Joey Votto over at first. Joe Nathan is still up for the American League in their bullpen, so it looks like he will come in for Verlander. Here's a 3-2. Pop-up, left side, Sandoval, 1 out. And so the Royals fans here at Kauffman Stadium get a kick out of Cano making an out at first. We talked to Robinson about it. He said it's just part of the game. He smiled that Robinson-Cano smile.
One of the best in the game, that smile.
And now Josh Hamilton, who set a record with over 11 million votes, digs his way into the batter's box, and he will dig his way into somebody's wallet this upcoming offseason, as he is a free agent to be.
Maybe the biggest contract in the history of the game.
5-time All-Star. He started all 5. There you go, 11 million plus votes, most in All-Star history, so that's a record. His 5th straight start. And he leads baseball, even though he gets nicked up and he'll miss a lot of games. Leads baseball with 27 home runs, 75 RBIs.
4 of those in one game in Baltimore earlier in the year.
Here's a pop-up left side out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. While you look at somebody like Matt Cain, who gets the ball for the National League, he's got the good fastball, but he has also fine-tuned a great changeup. Part of that good San Francisco Giants rotation. Here comes a 1-1. Ball 2, 2-1. Years past, we'd be through 2 innings by now. Those San Francisco Giants are only a half game out at the break behind the Dodgers, who hope to get healthy in the second half with Kemp and Ethier coming back. It's outside, the count 3-1.
Dangerous situation for Matt Cain, one of the best hitters in the game at the plate, looking for a fastball.
New York is up in arms that R.A. Dickey did not get the ball to start this game for the National League. Try and go through the thought process of Tony La Russa as Hamilton hits it into left at the track, at the wall. It's caught by Ryan Braun, and going back to first base is Jeter. He's there with 2 out as Hamilton came close.
Here's that tension-free swing we were talking about. Smooth as glass. Ball got in on him just a hair. Inside part of the plate. Didn't fully extend to hit it out of here.
And yet still drove Braun back to the wall.
Right.
Now Bautista, he knows how to hit home runs. A guy who before 2010 hit 1 every 30 at bats. Since 2010, 1 home run every 11. He's led the league in home runs each of the last 2 years. He's doing it again, tied for first with his 27. He and Hamilton are tied on top in the AL, and his June with his 14 home runs had a lot to do with that. 1 ball, no strikes for Matt Cain. 2-0. Tony La Russa said what he weighed was this unbelievable out of nowhere story, R.A. Dickey here in 2012 against a guy who's been very good and has been getting better and better. A better, longer history of success in the big leagues. La Russa did say, I know what you guys wanted. I know what the world wanted. It would be dynamic to have R.A. Dickey start this game.
Right.
But then he said, whenever he comes in, it's going to be dynamic. The knuckleball pitcher of the Mets. And he wanted Matt Cain with Posey and wanted Ruiz to catch R.A. Dickey.
The thing would have been solved had Yadier Molina been on the team, but Molina attending a family problem in Puerto Rico and is not on the team. So Posey was elected to catch, and he'd rather have Ruiz catch.
And he gets to catch his teammate Matt Cain, who gets around that leadoff infield hit by Jeter by getting Cano, Hamilton, and Batista. 5-0 after 1. Cal Ripken Jr., Mike Schmidt, and Jay Moore announced the 2012 AL and NL Pepsi Max Field of Dreams teams. Last year's winner, Tim Weiskup, hosted the Field of Dreams game in Columbus, Ohio, where he and his friends enjoyed the experience of a lifetime. This year, you can help decide where the game will be played. Just log on to MLB.com/Pepsi Max to vote. Carlos Gonzalez struck out his first time. And he deals with Joe Nathan in his first year in a Texas Rangers uniform. He made his name with the Minnesota Twins as their closer. He's undergone a shoulder procedure and most recently Tommy John surgery, and he feels like he is as good as he was before he went down with a bad elbow. His 1-1 pitch to Gonzalez. Leading off in the second is chopped to fielder. 1 out. And so with one down, Melky Cabrera will be the hitter, in the 2012 All-Star Game on Fox is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. So Nathan's on the mound with David Price, a lefty, Chris Perez, the closer for the Indians, who are right there in the AL Central, just 3 games out behind the red-hot White Sox, who made that deal for Kevin Youkilis. Former Boston Red Sox third baseman has been a huge addition to Robin Ventura's good White Sox team as Nathan hits the outside corner with strike 1.
White Sox in the American League Central, 3 games ahead of Cleveland, 3.5 ahead of Detroit.
That's strike 2 on Cabrera, who started the trouble in the first inning with a base hit into left center. Paul Konerko, now one of the elder statesmen of a game like this. He's in the dugout. He's been there 14 years. That's hard to believe.
Broke in as a catcher with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Joe Nathan, on the other hand, broke in as a shortstop. Was changed to pitching back in 1997.
Cabrera grounds to Cano. That ball comes up. He's got great hands. 2 out. So Cabrera back to the dugout, and he will plug his shoes into a charger so they light up brighter the next time he goes out there. And with 2 out, nobody on, the batter will be Ryan Braun.
The one guy you would not get into those shoes is Adam Dunn. He told us yesterday there's no chance I'm wearing those orange shoes.
See, they'd be great for Pele, but not me. 2 out, nobody on. Here's Ryan Braun, and there's strike 1. Nathan blew it by him, 94 miles per hour. There's one of the game's best personalities,
Funny.
Adam Dunn.
Funny man.
Former high school and college quarterback, but he picked the right sport.
Yep.
Had a rough year last year with the White Sox, and his sense of humor got him through it. Here's Bautista with a diving catch to end the inning and rob Ryan Braun of a base hit into right. He may have let one go over his head earlier. This one coming in on it. He hits home runs. He plays all over, and he makes an all-star game highlight catch. 5-0 after 1.5.
We've all been affected by cancer. That's why Stand Up to Cancer and MasterCard are joining together to help strike out this disease. Now through September 28th, pay for a meal over $10 with your MasterCard. And MasterCard will make a 1-cent donation to Stand Up to Cancer, up to $4 million. Plus, if you tap with MasterCard PayPass, MasterCard will double the donation. Help make a difference today. Join us at facebook.com/MasterCard.
Thank you, R.A. Major League Baseball is proud to support Stand Up to Cancer and its scientific dreams that are advancing to fight against this disease that affects us all. Help make cancer history. Visit su2c.org and stand up to cancer today. su2c.org stand up to cancer today. Second inning, bottom half. Prince Fielder first up. He won the home run derby last night, and he gets under this one. Skies it into left center field, and I don't know how his arms aren't tired, but he flies to Cabrera, 1 out. Matt Cain back for his second inning, and David Price will take over, it appears, in the top of the third. Just watching R.A. Dickey, Tim, during that promo for Stand Up to Cancer, I hope we get the time to talk about what this guy's all about when he comes into the ball game. Probably the fifth inning with Carlos Ruiz, the tremendous catcher of the Phillies, in to catch him.
38 years old on October 29th, and the path that he has taken to get to where he is extraordinary.
And then what he did this past offseason, he climbed Mount Kilimanjaro this past January to raise money for charity. As Beltre pops it up, Adrian Beltre is the second out as Furcal puts it away, and Beltre, three-time Gold Glove Award winner, third All-Star game, his second start, is out number 2. And now those guys are going to start to get together because Ruiz has never caught a knuckleball in the big leagues.
Right.
And everyone's is different. Here's David Ortiz, the DH. And he got to the 400 home run plateau less than 2 weeks ago out in Oakland, and he's hit more home runs as a DH than anybody in DH history.
Hard to believe he's the only representative of the Red Sox this year in the All-Star game. After all the great players that have represented that organization over the years, guys like Kevin Youkilis, Dustin Pedroia, that are not here today, Jacoby Ellsbury.
Fly ball into left. Going to get it is Braun in the corner, and that will end the inning. Good work by Matt Cain. 5-0 after 2 NL. Back after this from your local Fox station.
with you. I'm Robinson Cano, the ambassador of the smile. There's one category that I lead the league every year, smile.
There's a look from earlier tonight, and was I told correctly? Was that your idea?
No, it was not.
You
no,
don't want
but
to take
I love
credit
it.
for that? It's great.
But I love it.
It's great.
Barry Manilow in the background.
I know that's your favorite part of that piece.
That's, well, about half and half.
David Price is into the ball game, the hard thrower from the Tampa Bay Rays. Ken Rosenthal is standing by, and we're going to hear from Matt Cain, who for so long has been in the shadow, Tim, of Tim Lincecum. And now Cain, who I think showed the world what he could do in the postseason 2 years ago, gets the All-Star start. He didn't miss on his chance. All the talk about R.A. Dickey, and we're going to see him. Those two have made their way down toward the bullpen. Dickey and his catcher Ruiz, as Votto grounds one left side. Price starts his night by getting Votto, who's now 0 for 2. We go down to our friend Ken Rosenthal. Kenny.
Thanks, Joe. Matt, you've thrown a perfect game. You've pitched in playoffs and World Series. How did starting an All-Star game compare?
It's right up there with all of them. I mean, it's definitely right up there with all of them. There's all the nerves, all the pressure, and all the excitement. I mean, that was a thrilling 2 innings right there.
You had Buster behind the plate, Melky in center, Pablo at third. Giant fans took a lot of heat for stuffing the ballot box, but how do you think the election turned out?
I think it turned out great. You know, that's definitely very comforting to be out there and have Buster behind the plate, knowing he knows what I want to throw and doing a good job back there, and then turn around and see Melky and Pablo, and especially the way they've just performed in the first inning. That was awesome.
Matt, thank you very much. Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, thanks, and thanks to Matt for stopping by. After 2 shutout innings, he allowed a hit, struck out 1. And David Price, who just burst onto the big league scene.
Right off the campus of Vanderbilt.
Yeah, he went from there basically in 2008, starting in A-ball, and ended up pitching in the World Series.
Mark Teixeira said of David Price last Wednesday, he had a no decision pitching against the Yankees. Mark Teixeira said, the best I've seen him last week.
That's saying a lot.
It really is.
Gio Gonzalez of the Washington Nationals, and part of the fun they've got going on in our nation's capital, looks like is getting ready to come into the ball game, and he will follow Matt Cain. The Nationals, if you don't know it, are in first in the NL East. They're 49-34, and they haven't had postseason baseball since the 30s in our nation's capital. Here's a 1-1. 2 out, nobody on. It's foul back behind the plate. Napoli got a late go at it, and he makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 third inning. Here comes Gio. We go into the bottom of the third. 5-0 NL. Tonight's game is sponsored by Chevrolet. Chevrolet has that feeling back. Feel it too with Chevy confidence. And a look at the Negro League Museum. And when you see that, I know, without even having talked to you about this specifically, it makes you think of our late dear friend Buck O'Neill.
Oh, man. I think when he passed, he was 94 years old, I believe, a couple of years ago. One of the greatest speaking voices I think I've ever heard.
The Negro National League was established here in Kansas City back in 1920. As Gio Gonzalez comes into the ballgame, Mike Napoli looks at a strike. And the museum is right in the heart of Kansas City's historic 18th and Vine Street district. As Napoli falls in the hole now 0-2, 20 players left the Negro Leagues to go on to become MLB All-Stars, and Ryan Howard had his All-Star party at the museum. And it is obviously not just baseball history, but American history. When you visit Kansas City, it is a must. The count 0-2 as Jared Weaver, the right-hander, Matt Harrison, who is red hot for the Texas Rangers, the lefty, get loose. Napoli is making his first All-Star appearance. And he was the guy, Tim, that was going to be the MVP of the World Series.
That's
until
right.
David Freese jumped up and ruined the Rangers' party with the home run in Game 6.
St. Louis Cardinals twice were one strike away from elimination in Game 6 last year. Mike Napoli was the man. What a postseason he had. There's David Freese.
Voted in by the fans as Napoli strikes out, one away, and Gio Gonzalez starts his night well. One down. How about an All-Star game fact for you? 5 runs in the first inning ties the National League record for runs in a single inning. Any inning, not just the first inning. And we'll give you tonight's Miller Lite trivia question. What's the largest deficit a team has overcome to win an All-Star game? Gonzalez to Curtis Granderson, a pitch outside, ball 1. Granderson with 64 home runs since the start of 2011. That is second to his teammate tonight, Jose Bautista, in the league, and he takes a pitch down and away to count 2-0.
Traded the two main guys in that trade a couple of years ago. Austin Jackson going to be the center fielder of the Tigers, and Curtis Granderson with the Yankees. Both have performed very well. The most improved player in the major leagues this year may be Austin Jackson. And both Granderson and Jackson had problems with their front foot, picking it up too high. I think it's interesting that Boyd McClendon, the hitting coach with Detroit, fixed Jackson, and Kevin Long, the hitting coach with the Yankees, fixed Curtis Granderson.
Here's a pop-up left side into grab it, fighting that high sky, and that wasn't easy. Ryan Braun, 2 out. With the bases empty, the batter will be Derek Jeter, who singled his first time. Gio Gonzalez, who has that power curve, he throws hard. It's his second All-Star game.
Great stuff.
How's that pitching staff?
Huh.
How's that bullpen? How's his teammate Steven Strasburg, who's throwing harder as he gets his moneymaker loose out in the bullpen? He throws harder with his fastball than anybody in the big leagues in 2012. David Price is number 2, by the way, but number 1 on the gun is Strasburg at 95.9. That's what he averages with his fastball.
That's with one of the better curveballs around, too, the Verlander type curve.
And coming off Tommy John surgery, here's Jeter with a chop to second. Good pitching so far for the National League in a city that features great barbecue.
Yeah.
5-0. looks like our old friend Phil Shifley came out of hiding for the All-Star game here in Kansas City. As we go into the 4th inning, it's 5-0, and one of the big reasons why is the Panda. Pablo Sandoval.
Batting right-handed here. Left-handed his first time when he cleared the bases with the 3-run triple.
He flies into center for Curtis Granderson, and on the mound is Matt Harrison in his first All-Star game. He has been unhittable since the 3rd week of May. He's got an 8-1 record, a 1.52 ERA. This is his day to start, by the way, so he's working on regular rest. And he's been the mainstay in the rotation, a rotation that's had a lot of injuries so far in Texas, but a club that's leading the AL West by 4 games over the Angels at the break. There's the split. And he just credits what happened last year, the postseason, the intense games. As Ugla flies one into center, back is Granderson in front of the track. Takes a lot to get it out of this ballpark. Ugla's 1 for 2. Had an RBI single his first time up, and 2 down to the 4th.
Experience in the postseason certainly gives you a good feeling of confidence when you pitch in an All-Star game. That's what's happening with Matt Harrison. Just think about that trade for Mark Teixeira, where Elvis Andrus, Neftali Feliz, and Matt Harrison coming from Atlanta to Texas, and all of them have made the All-Star team.
Here's for Call now.
It's got to make Mark Teixeira feel good.
Yeah. Guy who won it all with the Yankees back in 2009. That is ball 1. Matt Holliday, for Call's teammate, has come into the on-deck circle. And for Call will bring him to the plate here in the 4th inning. For Call will dig for second and turn and go. The relay by Cano not made. It's a 2-out triple for Rafael Furcal. And in his first start, 3rd All-Star game for Call, has a triple here in the 4th inning.
Down the right field line and rattles around in that corner. That's a triple haven, a triple waiting to happen in that corner because of the contours here at Kauffman Stadium. Even though there are 2 outs, Furcal makes it to 3rd without a play.
Furcal has been one of the real bright spots for the Cardinals. The world champions, who at the break is Matt Holliday, who was fitted for his own ring this past offseason. Digs his way into bat for Carlos Gonzalez. The Cardinals come in 2.5 games out in the Central as Holliday takes a strike. And who do they trail in the NL Central? The Pittsburgh Pirates.
Isn't that something?
They were in just about the same spot a year ago. There's Andrew McCutchen, one of the game's best, and we'll see him in center field before the end of the night. But our friend Clint Hurdle has got that Pittsburgh team playing great baseball, and they hope to avoid what they went through last year, that second half collapse as Andrew McCutchen collapses onto the top rail of the dugout. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Holliday with a base hit into right, and that makes it 6-0 National League here in the 4th inning. So 2 Cardinals go back-to-back for Call a triple, Holliday a base hit into right, and it's a 6-0 game as Holliday gets Matt Harrison.
That was a good changeup Matt Holliday hit. Watch this ball a little off the plate away, off the end of the bat, little flare to right for another run for the National League.
Holliday, who at the break, as Cabrera takes a strike, is 8th in the league in average, 7th in RBIs with 56, just knocked in the 6th run of the night for the National League as Melky Cabrera takes a fastball down and in. Cabrera, in that New York Times article that you referenced earlier, said that he was eating everything when he was playing for the Yankees, then traded to Atlanta, then just cut loose, signed by the Kansas City Royals, had a great year, hit 18 home runs, hit over 300. Was traded for Jonathan Sanchez, and now Cabrera is taken off, and he has taken off 20 pounds. Looks like a different guy.
He does. He really does.
Counts 2-2 with the runner at first, 2 out. Had a 200 hit season last year with the Royals.
201.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Ripped into left field, back at the wall, and this one's gone. A 2-run shot by Melky Cabrera, and it's 8-0 National League. And Cabrera, the former Royal, is 2 for 3 tonight, as the NL is having fun trying to win their 3rd straight All-Star game.
The National League has hit for the cycle in the first 3 2/3 innings. Single, double, 2 triples, and now a home run by Cabrera. A high fastball from Harrison. Tried to come inside to Melky, said, telling Mike Napoli, I'll handle this one.
Over the wall, into the bullpen, and this is a rout at the moment with Strasburg getting ready a moment ago, and we haven't even seen R.A. Dickey, who this season has put together back-to-back one-hitters for the Mets, as this one is down in the count 2-0.
We also haven't seen Mike Trout. We haven't seen Bryce Harper. And what about the representation of the San Francisco Giants tonight?
Here's a 2-0. Line drive is fair down the right field line. Braun wasn't running out of the box. He will end up at second base and now turn and go to third. He is there as the throw is cut off. Braun was watching and still gets a 2-out triple. Here comes Mike Maddox for a visit after this, Tim.
3rd triple in this ball game. 1 by the American League, 2 by the National League. We said that's where triples are born, in that corner.
And so Mike Maddox, who is Matt Harrison's pitching coach.
This is impressive, Joe.
Hitting up and down the lineup. Holiday got the RBI, then the 2-run shot by Cabrera. Now Braun with a triple, and there's Melky Cabrera, who was a teammate of Robinson Cano, with his hand out, and Cano just let him pass on by.
Yeah, Robbie telling us before the game that they talk all the time.
Here's Joey Votto. He grounds to second, and Cano, with the hand he didn't shake with Melky Cabrera, throws out Votto. How about this? NL up after 3.5, 8-zip. Before coming to Kansas City, the Taco Bell truck was in Alaska to deliver Doritos Locos Tacos. Over the past couple of days here in Kansas City, fans have been enjoying free tacos. Sometimes you got to take tacos where they've never been before. Sometimes you got to live Moss. As this game gets into the bottom of the fourth inning, David Wright takes over at third base for Pablo Sandoval. And on the mound is the guy who lights up a radar gun and has been, as advertised, Steven Strasburg.
128 strikeouts on the year. Not only that fastball, but that excellent curveball. Went to San Diego State, played for Tony Gwynn.
First-time All-Star. 244 strikeouts in his first 34 starts. That's the most by an active pitcher. When he came out, all anybody wanted to talk about was fastball, the stuff, breaking ball. I thought, well, there's no way he can live up to all this hype. He's got the goods. 2-1. Matt Kemp is injured, not in the lineup for the National League, but he's been kind enough to wear a microphone for us tonight. This 8-0 game, that's down to count 3-1. And Matt Kemp, who is close to coming back from his second hamstring injury. Is one of the game's more lively players as Strasburg gets it by his bat at 97. It's full count.
He'll be back
wearing a mic.
Yeah, he'll be back on Thursday for the Dodgers when they resume play in the second half. Do they ever need him? Make that Friday.
With the count of 3-2, Cano lines one up the middle, a base hit. Cano is on his 1 for 2. AL has its leadoff man on, and here's a little sample of Matt Kemp in the dugout.
I'm telling you, everything he hits right now is a hit. Dang, San Francisco Giants show so far. Hey, you can hit. You can hit.
He can flat out hit, as Josh Hamilton will be the hitter here. So can this guy. He's 0 for 1 and almost rode one out the opposite way his first time up. Leadoff man is on, and a rally hat. More than one for the American League, as it counts 1-1 on Josh Hamilton. C.J. Wilson and C.C. Sabathia, two guys that aren't participating in this game, are in the dugout trying to get their teammates, make Verlander turn his around. Here's a 1-1. Hard hit, should be a double play ball. For Kyle, steps and throws, 2 out. Can't hit it much harder, but the National League had Hamilton defense perfectly. 2 down. And Jose Bautista steps in. When players leave tonight's game, MLB is allowing the players to tweet from a room just off the clubhouses, and that one spins Bautista out of there. A breaking ball that stayed up and in. At the real Matt Kemp. He's the first player to ever tweet during the All-Star game because he's not in the game. There's a good tight breaking ball from Strasburg, and the count 1 ball 1 strike. So that was Kemp. This is David Price. David, who pitched 1 perfect inning, is in there and experiencing the joys of social media. There's a fastball for strike 2.
Told you he went to Vanderbilt. He could type too.
Yeah, he's not a hunt and peck guy. Here's a 1-2. 97 from Strasburg, and there's been so much written about a supposed ceiling for innings for Strasburg this season. We talked to him about it yesterday, and he said if there is, I haven't been told about that. He's not discussed that with management at all. But the number you hear a lot, 160, 165 innings, and then because of his youth and his Tommy John surgery, The rumor is they'll shut him down.
I'm sure Davey Johnson, the manager of Washington, would feel better if they had a double-digit lead.
Here is a breaking ball that's inside for ball 4. A 2-out walk that puts Batista on. It brings in Prince Fielder, and it sends us down to Ken Rosenthal. Kenny?
Well, Joe, it's not a rumor about Strasburg pitching 160 innings. The Nationals general manager Mike Rizzo has been absolutely adamant that he will not go beyond the limit that the Nationals have prescribed for him. So we'll just have to see when he gets to that point what the team does.
Well, if that's the case, and Strasburg hasn't been told, that's odd to me.
It is. It is.
First pitch of ball to Prince Fielder, who fly to center his first time up.
And it would be odd also if by shutting him down, that would cost them the first time in postseason since the mid-30s.
And does this inning count? Here's Braun back to his left with a leaping catch to end the inning. Ryan Braun took an extra base hit away from Prince Fielder. Up to get it with plate 4 in Kansas City, 8-0 National League.
I'm going to Kansas City.
What about Bryce Harper?
The bombs he hits are insane.
You're not exactly a singles hitter. There's nothing he can't do.
Except stay out late.
You know, we still got a curfew.
One is 19, one is 20. And the 19-year-old, who's the youngest position player in All-Star history, leads it off. He takes on Jared Weaver. Weaver, the veteran right-hander, and Bryce Harper, the 19-year-old, who has a violent swing when he is at the plate. There we go. So off we go in the 5th inning in an 8-0 game. NL on top. You saw Mike Trout, and that's high from Weaver, ball 1.
We talked about the shoes of Melky Cabrera earlier. How about the shoes on Bryce Harper? They're golden. Oh, those golden slippers. That's styling right there.
2-0 the count. Weaver brings home ball 3. Jeff Weaver, who has a no-hitter this year, is for the American League, is their 5th pitcher of the night. Fastball for a strike. Weaver no-hit Minnesota in May. See the kind of stats he is putting up. He's done it year after year. There's that good hard swing by Bryce Harper, and the count is full 3-2. Last year Bryce Harper was playing in the futures game. Now he's in the real deal here on a Tuesday night. 3-2 pitch is ball 4 on a pitch just down and away. If we look at the new or next generation of stars in this All-Star game, and these are just a few, as you see, 26 first-time All-Stars and 19 are under the age of 26.
You asked Bryce Harper the last question today, asking him what he had to improve on. He said, I'm going to continue to take my walks. How many 19-year-olds know the strike zone like he does?
Here's Posey reaching out and hitting one deep into left, back at the track. Hamilton tagging at first and going to second with good base running as Harper. He's there with 1 out. So Harper advances on the deep fly to left by Buster Posey. And even with a good arm of Josh Hamilton, Harper made it easily.
Yeah, he's got such an awareness running the bases and at the plate.
Here's David Wright. Runner at second, 1 out, and a strike from Jared Weaver.
Chipper Jones saying that Bryce Harper is a man-child.
That's what he said.
There is nothing teenager about Bryce Harper.
David Wright is a 6-time All-Star. He's #1 in Mets history in runs, doubles, extra base hits, RBIs. He's #2 in hits to Ed Kranepool. And he is signed through next year, in essence, with the club holding an option. But he's put together a tremendous first half, hitting .351, 59 RBIs. His average 3rd best, his RBIs 5th best, and he's stolen 9 bases. Here's a 2-1 from Weaver on the outside corner, 2-2.
Last Thursday night, the Mets won in the bottom of the 9th inning at Citi Field in New York. And the Washington Nationals won in Washington about 3 minutes apart. It looked like a playoff finish for both teams. Mets are proving they're for real, and so are the Nats.
Here's a nice play by Weaver. He's got Harper hung up. And Bryce Harper is tagged out by Beltre on the fielder's choice. Nice play by Weaver. 2 out in the inning. The 2012 All-Star Game on Fox is sponsored by the all-new Dodge Dart. Dodge, new rules. By Ice Age Continental Drift, Friday, only in theaters. And by the new Miller Lite Punch Top Can. It's Miller time. Beautiful shot from up above. Aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. It may be humid and hot, but it is a beautiful night in Kansas City. Nice breeze through the park. And with 1 on, the runner at first, David Wright, 2 out. Here's Ugla, strike 1. Verlander went 1 inning, allowed 5 runs on 4 hits. And then the most recent pitcher for the AL before Weaver, Matt Harrison, went 1, allowed 3. A 2-out rally. 1 ball, 1 strike. Clayton Kershaw getting ready. Here's a 1-1. Reaching for it, and a fly ball into left for Hamilton will end the inning. As Jared Weaver gets around the leadoff walk, halfway through an 83rd MLB All-Star game, and the NL on top, 8-zip. All-Star game, you've come to the right place. David Freese takes over at first base. Jose Altuve of the Astros is at second base. Bryce Harper stays in the game. He plays in left field. Clayton Kershaw is now on the mound, but we're not finished with the changes. Here's for Call. He's still in there, and he tests David Freese right away. Adrian Beltre grounds out to start the bottom of the fifth. Andrew McCutchen is in center field. Jay Bruce is in right. Buster Posey stays in the game behind the plate, and he is catching the left-hander and reigning Cy Young Award winner Clayton Kershaw. Leads the National League in innings pitched, and he deals with David Ortiz, who is 0 for 1. Strike one. And now R.A. Dickey is throwing to
who else?
Carlos Ruiz, his catcher.
Chooch.
With that gigantic glove that R.A. Dickey brought with him from the Mets. That's the glove that Josh Tolley uses.
And Mike Nickius, the second catcher for the Mets. It's a big glove, and it's broken in. He has 4 of them.
We just watched him drop one. Here's a pitch down and away, and the count 2-1. There's the difference. It's like something out of a circus.
One's a 16-ounce or 16-inch circumference inch pizza, and the other is 12.
Here's a 2-1. 2-2. So we'll give you where these guys are hitting as we either play here in the bottom of the fifth or go into the top of the sixth. We've yet to see Chipper Jones in his Final All-Star game as David Ortiz is on with a one-out base hit to left. So he is 1 for 2, and Napoli will be the batter. The New Girl True American Bus Tour made its way to Kauffman Stadium today and greeted fans passing by. It's en route to Chicago this weekend. Be sure to catch all new season episodes of New Girl Tuesday, September 25th, right here on Fox. Here's Napoli, who struck out his first time. That was against Gio Gonzalez. Fouled out of play off to the right. Napoli hitting .228, 12 homers, 30 RBIs, and a guy that provides a lot of pop behind the plate. Somebody who has really taken a lot of pride in how he's improved behind the plate, handling a pitching staff. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2.
Napoli, a huge soccer fan. He called Dirk Nowitzki of the Mavericks. Mavericks won it all a couple of years ago. Napoli and Dirk are good friends. They put a mild wager on the soccer match, and sure enough, Italy beat Germany.
0-2 the count. Runner at first, 1 out. Fly ball into left. Bryce Harper can't see it. It goes behind him, and it's 2 on with 1 out. At no point did he act like he couldn't see it until it basically landed behind him.
Yeah. Well, nobody's there to help him. No shortstop. It's too deep for the shortstop to come out. And here in the Gloman, he lost the ball. Well, that's a helpless feeling. You don't know how close you are to it.
It's got to be. I mean, you don't know where it's falling out of the sky. It fell behind him. Ortiz got to second on what should have been a routine out, but it just was hard to pick up with this clear blue sky. The sun is basically all the way down and set here in Kansas City, so he couldn't find it. He won't forget that, the 19-year-old first-time All-Star. And it goes as a hit for Napoli. Now Granderson does not swing on a pitch that misses up and in 2-0. Kershaw has to get, in essence, 4 outs. He got the fly ball to left off the bat of Napoli in his first All-Star game. And now he gets one by the bat of Granderson, 95-mile-per-hour fastball. It's 2-1.
If some of you folks out there are asking yourself, is that the most unusual stretch in baseball? The answer is yes. Now Kershaw comes stretching. Now watch the arms way above the head and back.
2-1. Nope. That's upstairs. 3-1 in the American League. Hoping to make some noise here in the 5th. Down 8-0. Have 2 on with 1 out. Here's a 3-1. Clunker hit on the infield for Kershaw. His only play to first. The runners advance. 2 out. And as Drupal Cabrera will be the batter, we'll give you our Lexus in-game box score for the American League. It's Jeter with a hit, Cano with a base hit, and then hits down at the bottom with Ortiz here in this 5th inning, followed by the one that dropped behind Bryce Harper off the bat of Napoli. Here's as Drupal Cabrera batting for Derek Jeter. The everyday shortstop for the Cleveland Indians, and Cabrera gives you some pop with the bat. Good with extra base hits, and he has second and third. 2 out, ball 1 inside.
First time you and I saw as Drupal Cabrera back in 2008. When they, or make that 2007, when he was a second baseman in postseason against the Boston Red Sox. And only had 159 games, or 159 at-bats that year. You could tell this guy's going to be special, and he has been for Cleveland.
Second All-Star game for Cabrera. As Chris Sale, real tough left-hander, gets loose from the White Sox for the AL. Here is a 1-1. That's low. Among Major League Baseball shortstops, Cabrera #1 in RBIs and extra base hits. And he could put the American League on the board as they trail by 8. Here's a 2-1. 3-1 on deck is Ian Kinsler. National League got 5 in the first, 3 in the fourth. Kershaw's 3-1 pitch is down and away. That'll load him up. As you look at Adrian Beltre of the Texas Rangers, the first place Texas Rangers, Kershaw has just issued a walk that will bring Dave Duncan, who is in uniform for the final time after 44 years in baseball, out to the mound to talk to Kershaw. He's been the longtime lieutenant for Tony La Russa.
They've been together over 30 years, haven't they?
Yeah, it's a great story with two guys. Obviously made their name out in Oakland, but they have stayed together since. Once again, tonight's Miller Lite trivia question: the largest deficit a team has overcome to win an All-Star game? The answer is 5. By the National League in 1955 in Milwaukee, they trailed 5-0 in the 7th and came back to win 6-5 on a 12th inning home run by
Red Shandies. No, Stan Musial.
Stan Musial.
I knew it was a Cardinal.
I'll take Cardinals for 200, Alex. Bases loaded, 2 out. And a strike to Ian Kinsler. Now Joel Hanrahan, the closer for the Pirates, gets loose.
I think Red Shandies won an earlier 50s game in extra innings with a home run.
Bases loaded, 2 out, the 0-1. In for strike 2 to Ian Kinsler. Kinsler with the bases loaded, 2 out, no balls, 2 strikes. Able to lay off that high delivery, 1-2. So Kershaw has to really make an effort here in the 5th inning after that ball got behind Bryce Harper and left. And a walk to load him up. The 1-2 is foul.
Ian Kinsler, perhaps more than any other right-handed batter in the American League, is a pull hitter. Rarely does he hit home runs to center, and certainly not to right field. I think he's hit 2 in his career to right center field.
Here is a 1-2. Just outside, 2-2. The 20-year-old Mike Trout has come into the on-deck circle for Ron Washington. If Kinsler does something here, we'll get to see Trout in the 5th. Bases loaded, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count. If it is Trout, we could see Hanrahan as this has turned into a long inning for Clayton Kershaw. It's been a 25-pitch inning for Kershaw here in the 5th. Runners go on a foul, and that almost caught Big Papi on its way down the line.
Yeah, if you're on third base with Kinsler hitting, you have to be alive. David said, I'll get in fair territory, but you try to stay in foul territory, of course. Whoa.
One of the game's most productive second baseman, Ian Kinsler, hoping to give the AL a shot. Here in the 5th inning. Runners go. And a fly ball into left. Does he see it? Harper is there, and the inning is over. A long inning, but no damage for the AL. What a night for the NL and the Giants in particular. The pitching of Kane, the hitting of Sandoval and Cabrera as the NL's up 8-0 after 5.
Give me one.
As we go into the 6th inning, Paul Konerko is in the game at first. As for Call, who started the game, shoots one into right center field, and Adam Jones is back to grab it, representing the Baltimore Orioles, 1 out. First pitch swinging against Chris Sale, the starter from the White Sox, and here comes Chipper Jones. First ballot Hall of Famer and the switch hitter stands in. And goes after the first pitch. He's going to test Kinsler, and he's got a base hit.
We saw Bryce Harper lose the ball in the air, and we saw Ian Kinsler, I think, lose the ball coming out of those white shirts. He breaks to his right first. That half step to the right prevents him from getting the ground ball, and Chipper Jones has a base hit.
Chipper in his 19th season. It's his 8th All-Star game. He was the National League MVP in '99. Hit .364 in '08. It's his first time playing in this ballpark. The only one that's in existence where he has not played is in Miami. The Braves will be there a couple more times. Let's listen.
It's too late not to take those, Chipper.
Here's a guy with 460 home runs, third most by a switch hitter ever, and he hits a squirter for a base hit through the right side. Andrew McCutchen at the plate, and you can see by that swing what this guy brings to the Pirates and what he's done in 2012. He is the biggest reason in their lineup that they're in first place in the NL Central.
That's why he just signed a new contract similar to Jay Bruce's contract of the Cincinnati Reds.
$51 million extension through 2017. Pretty good pitch by Sale. 1 on 1 out, and that's ball 1 outside. Second All-Star game for Andrew McCutchen. His .362 average is the third highest by a Pittsburgh Pirate at the All-Star break. Here's a line drive base hit into left. Over to cut it off is Trout. He bobbles it, but Jones stays at second. 2 on 1 out.
Boy, you talk about somebody buggy whipping that high fastball right down the pipe, up in his eyes, turning on the fastball. Woof. That's some bat speed right there.
The guy who didn't have a home run through the 7th of May. He's hit 18 since. That's the most in the National League over that stretch. And now Jay Bruce. First at bat for this left-handed hitting outfielder of the Cincinnati Reds. All that good young talent in Cincinnati as Bruce flies one into center. Back is the former shortstop. Now all-star outfielder Adam Jones, and Chipper Jones isn't going anywhere. And he gets a smile out of Adam Jones. Here are the rest of the changes. Stuff moving fast as Drupal Cabrera takes over at short. Miguel Cabrera is in the game at third. There's young Mike Trout in the outfield and left. There's Adam Jones. What an impressive young guy he is. And then Mark Trumbo in right. Matt Wieters does the catching for Chris Sale, former reliever, now starter, now all-star, and he drops one into David Freese with 2 on 2 out. He was the NLCS and the World Series MVP last October for St. Louis. And he deserved it. That's inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Freese batting in the spot vacated by Joey Votto, who was 0 for 3 while he was in there. Typically a third baseman. Freese playing first, and we're going to see the battery of Carlos Ruiz and R.A. Dickey when we come back in the bottom of the 6th.
Every inning, something surprising and different and good.
Here's a strike. It's 2-2. See those good young players for the American League side. Trumbo and Trout. Freese strikes out to end the inning in a scoreless frame put up by Chris Sale. We go back to the All-Star game in 1996 and flash forward to tonight. What a career. Larry Wayne Jones, 1 for 1 tonight. Star, and one of the most deserving All-Stars here tonight is in the game to catch a guy who many believed, including you, a pitcher, Tim, who could have started in R.A. Dickey, a 12-1 record, and it's going to be fun to watch Carlos Ruiz try and catch that knuckleball.
Not starting tonight, as we said earlier, probably because Buster Posey started the game, but Ruiz looking forward to the challenge.
Here's Trout with a base hit into center field, and Mike Trout, the 20-year-old, is on to start this bottom of the 6th inning. And you see that good compact swing, and he gets R.A. Dickey.
The floater. Is there anything Mike Trout can't do? 2 pitches, first at bat in the All-Star game, base hit up the middle off one of the hottest pitchers in the game.
I think the answer may be no, not on a baseball field.
No.
I mean, he can do it all. And here's his teammate who did a lot of the same things last year, Mark Trumbo, who led the Angels in home runs and RBIs in 2011, now an All-Star. After getting displaced from his first base position, the signing of Albert Pujols, Trout steals that easily off Dickey. The guy who leads the league in hitting and stolen bases is at second in a blink.
Well, I'll say it again. Is there anything Mike Trout can't do on a baseball field? Gets in the game, singles on his second hit, steals on the first pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Make that the second pitch.
So R.A. Dickey now deals with Trumbo with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. That's slapped at and fouled down the right field line. You know, I started to say, well, it's easy to run against R.A. Dickey because he's a knuckleballer. That's the first stolen base against R.A. Dickey this season.
Amazing. And a credit to both catchers with the New York Mets.
Mike Nickias is the backup to Josh Tolley. That just missed. 85-mile-per-hour fastball for a guy who was a conventional pitcher until he was with the Texas Rangers in the combination of Buck Showalter as manager and Orel Hershiser as pitching coach. Convinced him to go back and try to make it as a knuckleballer.
And your question to him, who was the most important part of your career? And he said it was not a guy. It's my wife, Ann. There are 4 children, 3 of the 4 children boys, and yes, all throw knuckleballs.
2 balls, 2 strikes. One of them's only 1, so.
Right. Well, his a 1-year-old's version of a knuckleball.
Still 2-2 on Trumbo.
In fact, one of his sons, in waving today in the red carpet treatment, waved to a crowd with a knuckle shape. I think it was Eli's 6-year-old. What a story.
He gets a strikeout of Trumbo. 1 on, 1 out, and the guy at second base is Mike Trout. 20 years old, the 25th pick overall in 09 by the Angels. And you see how the Angels turned things around since he came up toward the end of April. And he leads the league in hitting, in stolen bases, as Konerko flies one down the right field line. Foul for strike 1. And to me, Tim, when Mike Trout came up and people started to watch this guy blossom before their eyes in the big leagues, it took the focus, and this is just my theory, off
no
Pujols.
Question. No, I totally agree with that.
And Pujols, who struggled with that new big deal with the Angels, all of a sudden didn't have every eyeball on him. And now Albert Pujols is hitting like Albert Pujols, and the Angels are winning.
Right. 4 games behind Texas in the AL West.
That got a piece of Konerko to put 2 on with 1 out. And so far, no problems for Carlos Ruiz, the catcher, catching a knuckleball for the first time.
Normally in baseball and other sports, it's the established guy that takes the pressure off the younger guy coming up. But in this particular instance, it was the 20-year-old Mike Trout taking the pressure off Albert Pujols.
And for Trout, he became, when he got a base hit, as Miguel Cabrera digs in, the third youngest player to get a base hit in an All-Star game. Al Kaline, Claudell Washington, now Mike Trout.
Turns 21 August 7th.
Cabrera swings through it, 1 ball, 1 strike. Miguel Cabrera fouls it back. Where would you rank Miguel Cabrera with his bat and what he does on an everyday basis? A guy who's not even 30 yet, playing for the Detroit Tigers.
I think conservatively you can say he's in the top 5 in baseball. And nobody would disagree with you if you said he was the top 3.
Grounds a double play ball to Furcal. He's been busy tonight. Altuve in the middle of the double play. It ends the inning, and the crowd's upset because Billy Butler of the Royals was in the on-deck circle, and they won't see him yet. Let's go to the 7th. Back after this from your local Fox station. How about a little James Brown dance from Andrew McCutcheon?
Godfather of soul.
Wow.
It's a pretty good move.
What talent. And now Bryce Harper, who walked his first time up, deals with Ryan Cook, who's the closer for the A's. Bryce Harper, his second plate appearance, and then Carlos Ruiz will get his first at bat. And a foul ball back to the screen from Harper, and that is a unique swing. He doesn't leave anything behind when he lets it fly. And the count 1 ball 1 strike. Ryan Cook wasn't even guaranteed a spot on the A's pitching staff when he got to spring training, and now for a guy that never really used to work the 8th and 9th innings, he's the closer for the A's. He's done a great job, and he's an all-star.
Trying to make the team in the spring and on the all-star team in July.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Got him looking, and a strikeout starts the 7th, and we go down to Aaron Andrews.
Derek Jeter and the AL really need to recover here, down by 8 runs. We saw Chipper Jones give a passionate pregame speech. Anything you can tell these guys?
Tell these guys after Chipper's passionate pregame speech, I don't know if I can follow that up. Chipper, I'm glad I had an opportunity to come to see Chipper's last All-Star game. What he's done for the game it goes without saying.
Another storyline, these young kids tonight, and for you, it's one thing to have very young children idolize you in the way you perform, but what is it like having one of the youngest and most exciting players in Mike Trout say he wants to come here and meet Mr. Derek Jeter?
Well, first, don't call me Mr.
He did. I didn't.
Yeah, don't call me Mr. That's my dad. But, yeah, it always feels good. I like to see the young players when they come up, especially guys like him and Harper. They play the game the right way. They play it hard. And, yeah, I think a lot of times people pay so much attention to statistics to judge players, but I like to see how they play the game. They have fun, and then they both play hard.
New York Yankees having some fun here despite all the adversity you guys faced in the first half, and you really handled it so easily. I don't know what was going on in the clubhouse, obviously, but best record in all of baseball. What can you expect second half now?
Well, I mean, we have injuries, but every team has injuries. It's just if you're able to overcome them, and we've had a lot of guys step up. Our bullpen's been great. Our starters have been good. People coming off the bench. You need all 25 players. Sometimes you need a few more. We've definitely used a lot.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
All righty.
All right, Joe.
All right, thanks, Aaron. And Derek Jeter said the same thing Robinson Cano told us before the game, which was, yeah, we're playing great. We've got a great record, best in baseball. But the difference this year compared to last has been the bench and guys like Andrew Jones and Eric Chavez and Jason Hicks.
Bench in the bullpen.
And the bullpen's been great.
I mean, you lose Mariano Rivera, and Rafael Soriano steps in. It's not like, you know, things are the same, but they're almost the same as far as the end of the game is concerned for the Yankees.
How would you rank the handling of a bullpen, the job done by Joe Girardi?
Best in the business. This year, he's been the best in the business at handling his bullpen.
And handling that team since he took it over in 2008. They did not make the postseason, but they won it all in 09, and they've been there in the postseason at least the last 3 years. That's strike 3 and a nice inning for young Ryan Cook. And that keeps it 8-0 as we go into the bottom of the 7th. We'll give you our Verizon game summary, and it's been a lot of Giants and a lot of Giants success early. Sandoval with a bases clearing triple. First bases loaded triple in All-Star game history. Matt Cain was good in 2 innings, and Melky Cabrera leads baseball in hits, and he's got 2 tonight. And you can vote on Twitter as to who you think the 2012 All-Star game MVP will be. Right now, for the introduction of God Bless America, let's go to public address announcer Mike McCartney.
And now, to honor America with the singing of God Bless America, please welcome former American Idol contestant and country music recording artist, Kelly Pickler.
God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Number 16, Billy Butler.
Tonight's game is sponsored by the Lexus CT Hybrid, miles from ordinary. By Walmart, where you'll find low prices store-wide. Save money, live better, Walmart. And by the Bourne Legacy, there was never just one, in theaters August 10th. A Billy Butler chant for the hometowner, the Kansas City Royal. Billy Butler batting for David Ortiz. Brian LaHare from the Chicago Cubs in the game at first base. And the left-hander Cole Hamels, who's 10-4 from the Phillies, pulls the string and has Butler in the hole 0-2.
Cole Hamels with one of the best changeups in the game.
Another free agent to be.
Yeah, pretty impressive the way the crowd continues to bring back Billy Butler. Marvelous.
Here's the 0-2. Just got a piece. You said it during the break, just the way these fans have had fun. Really, from the beginning, they've been into the action, and they have had fun during the breaks. Nothing into the count. That's inside. These fans dying for winning baseball here in Kansas City, and it seems like they're getting there. It's been a while, since 1985 when they won it all. But they have a good young nucleus. And they love Billy Butler here tonight with the ovation before
prolonged.
And then when he came to the plate, one ball, 2 strikes from Cole Hamels. Hard hit, backhanded pick by David Wright, 1 out. Ball hit sharply by Butler. He's the first out. Matt Wieters. Switch hitting catcher for the Baltimore Orioles, who's done a good job with that staff. And the manager, Buck Showalter, has got that organization turned around. The Orioles are in second place in the AL East, right there in the wild card chase. 7 out in the division, but there's the hammer at the back end of their bullpen. Jim Johnson, who throws to Wieters and closes out wins for the Orioles. 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Talk to Adam Jones, who's the center fielder and who is on deck right now from the Orioles for the American League. He said it's so good to be here with teammates, and it's time that we've started to turn that thing around in Baltimore. He's tired of hearing about the 90s and how Camden Yards was such a tough ticket. He said it's a younger demographic, and we've got them coming out. The series they had against the Nationals, he said, was one of the most fun series he's been a part of. Wieters flies one into left. Back is Harper. 2 out. We'll go down to Ken Rosenthal with R.A. Dickey.
Thanks, Joe. R.A., you came in relief. How tough was it waiting for your chance?
It was tough. You know, I felt like I wanted to get up and start throwing every inning down there. You know, it's a whole different dynamic coming out of the pen, and especially this is the first time I've done it in quite some time. But, you know, Chooch did a great job back there, and I threw some pretty good ones to him, and it all worked out. 2006, you become a knuckleballer. Your first start, you give up 6 home runs. You bounce from team to team. You think about quitting the game. What did it mean for you to stand on that mound tonight as an all-star? It's just, I don't know if I got the words, you know. But it's a great honor, not just for me, but for everybody that's poured into me and loved me well, and just a nice night.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Joe, back to you.
It's been fun getting to know R.A. Dickey over the last couple of years, and he told us, Tim, before the game that, yeah, he was upset that he didn't get a chance to start tonight, and he was upset for Mets fans who have been in this with him, that they wouldn't get a chance to see one of their own start this 83rd All-Star game. That said, he was happy for Matt Cain. He didn't complain openly about it. Tony La Russa was able to start Cain, go to Dickey, and it's been a shutout so far, allowing just 5 hits as a group. Here's a 1-2. To the right side, Lahair backs up. This is going to be a race, and Hamels wins the race to the bag. We go to the 8th. National League coming to the plate, having fun tonight. Up 8-0.
I climbed it, all 19,000 feet of it.
He did that this past off-season, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in the African country of Tanzania. He and his wife Ann are helping to raise awareness and funds for the Bombay Teen Challenge, an organization dedicated to rescuing young women from forced human trafficking in Mumbai. To learn more, go to bombayteenchallenge.org. And so R.A. Dickey pitched his scoreless inning. Cole Hamels threw a scoreless inning. And now Jim Johnson, the closer for the Orioles, will try to do the same as he deals with Jose Altuve, all 5'5" of second baseman for the Houston Astros. Breaking ball is a strike in the count 1-2.
5'5" is exactly 1 inch taller than a legend with the Kansas City Royals, Freddie Patek,
right,
who was 5'4".
But this guy, he may be
plays bigger.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe vertically challenged, I guess, in these politically correct times. But he's got shoulders. He's put together, and he's got pop in his bat.
Yep.
He chops this one off the plate. Tough play for Kinsler. And got him at first base for the first out of the inning. And I'll be anxious to see the replay of that. Mauer into the game at first base, and Kinsler got him. And this was close.
Kinsler had to wait for the ball to come down. He could have beaten it.
No argument from Altuve. And so he's the first out here in the 8th. Good play by Ian Kinsler. And Starlin Castro, another one of the game's bright young stars, digs in, representing the Chicago Cubs. He takes over for Furcal, who while he was in there was 1 for 3 with a triple and a run scored. Ball 1 from Johnson. Here's that play at first base.
Yeah, good call. Foot coming down late.
Castro in his 3rd season. It's his 2nd All-Star game, and he flies one into right center field. Adam Jones comes in to make the play. 2 out. Tonight's aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Now Michael Bourne will come off the bench and bat. Chipper Jones was in this spot, so he will end his All-Star career with a base hit. He bounced one through the right side, and now Bourne, his teammate, foul tips it for strike 1. Bourne replaced Ian Desmond, the shortstop of the Washington Nationals. Desmond's having a great year, and Michael Bourne in his 2nd All-Star game, a 2-time Gold Glove Award winner. The guy's got the most stolen bases in baseball since 2008. He can fly.
Playing for the Atlanta Braves, who have inched ahead of the New York Mets in the National League Central. They're 4 out. The Mets 4.5.
Here's a swinging strike 3, and the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 8th. AL will bat, trailing the National League by 8.
Diamonds and Dreams program, Prince Fielder's MVP performance at last year's All-Star Game earned a youth baseball field makeover for the city of Milwaukee. Chevrolet's commitment to youth baseball is strong. See how the kids in your community could get a field makeover at ChevyBaseball.com.
That's the voice of Ken Rosenthal. That is Starlin Castro, who takes over at short for Kyle after hitting for him. And Craig Kimbrell, who's the reigning Rookie of the Year in the National League, because of a lot of that. 99 miles per hour by the bat of his Drupal Cabrera for strike one. Underway in the bottom of the 8th inning. 8-0 NL on top. You can see the ball just jump out of the hand of Kimbrell. On ball 1 strike as Fernando Rodney gets loose beyond the wall and left, and Aroldis Chapman, the left-handed closer for the Reds, gets loose behind the wall and right. So good luck, AL. That's a swinging strike 2.
Throw away the radar gun. 99 to 100 for Kimbrell, and Chapman up to 105. That's right, up to 105. You might see that tonight. Oh, man.
1 ball, 2 strikes from Kimbrell, and that's strike 3 and a nasty breaking ball, 1 out. And let's go down to Ken Rosenthal with Chipper Jones.
Thanks, Joe. Chipper, your first trip to this ballpark, your last All-Star game. How would you describe the experience?
Unbelievable. I truly regret not been given the opportunity not to play here before. This is a beautiful venue to play a baseball game in, and I'm just happy that I got a chance to come here one time before I retired.
Has this been more fun or more emotional for you?
Definitely more fun. I haven't even let it sink in that it's my last. I've just been trying to enjoy my teammates while I'm here and just trying to soak it all up and have a good time with my family and the guys who made the All-Star team.
Chipper, thanks a lot.
All right, my pleasure.
Joe, back to you.
All right, thanks, Kenny, and thanks to Chipper Jones for allowing us to eavesdrop on his pregame speech, the 40-year-old. And now he can just sit with the rest of us and watch the last inning and a half unfold. Kinsler at the plate. He is 0 for 1. He flied to left his first time up. Manager is trying to get everybody in the ball game, and that's strikeout number 2. And I don't know how you catch up to Craig Kimbrell.
You don't. Not up there. And now I think we're going to see perhaps Chapman.
So La Russa goes to the mound. Aroldis Chapman is coming into the ball game with Mike Trout coming up here in the 8th. by Ford and Random Acts of Fusion. Get into the act at randomactsoffusion.com. By Gatorade. Gatorade knows it all begins within. Win from within. And by Share Everything. It's the plan that revolves around you, only from Verizon. Arrowhead in the background where the Kansas City Chiefs play, and we've seen those three together a lot. Ron Renicky, manager of the Brewers, Terry Collins, the manager of the Mets, and Tony La Russa. He's been calling on them a lot, and now Aroldis Chapman, who has been unhittable during stretches this year, hits 100. On the radar gun with his first pitch as he deals with Mike Trout, who singled into center his first time up against R.A. Dickey. Chapman did not allow an earned run his first 29 innings. As that one goes to 101, and Carlos Ruiz threw his shoulder out trying to catch it, reaching for it. 41% of the time he gets a swing and a miss, which is the highest rate in baseball. 98, so he let up in the count 2-1. Cuban-born left-hander. Reds unloaded on him contract-wise, and it's finally all come together. There's a strike. Their outstanding general manager, Walt Jocketty, who for the longest time was with Tony La Russa in St. Louis, sat Chapman down on his way out at the end of last year and said, look, it's time to step up, get serious, and go about your business. And now as he hits 101, he is the late inning hammer for Dusty Baker and the Reds.
2 pitches, fastball, slider.
Trout 1 for 1 tonight. The 2-2 pitch is high. Full count. If Trout gets on, it will be Trumbo. But at this point now, La Russa is just trying to get guys into the game, not worried about the matchup, left-hander, right-hander, whatever. Full count pitch is high, a 2-out walk. Give you tonight's Dodge game summary. We'll give you a look. Matt Cain started it, 2 shutout innings from the Giant right-hander. The Giants were all over the place early. Bases clearing triple by Sandoval. A 2-run shot by Melky Cabrera. As the NL jumped out to 5 in the first, 3 more in the fourth, lead 8-0. And last 3 All-Star games, the pitching for the National League, 25 2/3, 2 runs on 17 hits, a combined ERA over 3 games of 0.70. The batter is Trumbo. With Trout on at first, they give Trout second base, so he takes it. Meanwhile, the AL won the first 7 All-Star games that determined home field advantage in the World Series. That started in 03. The National League trying to win for the 3rd straight time to secure home field advantage in the upcoming World Series. Just so you know, since they instituted that in the All-Star game, as Trumbo takes a strike, it's 2-1. Teams with a home field advantage won the World Series 6 of 9 times, including the last 3.
In fact, Ron Washington has been victimized the last 2 years as manager of the American League All-Stars. National League home field advantage in 2010 and 11. 10 against the Giants, and then last year against the Cardinals.
Year before that, the Yankees winning it all, and that's a swinging strike. And that ends the inning. That sends us into the 9th. As Wanda Jackson takes us to break, we go to the 9th. provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. We're into the 9th inning now, and Elvis Andrus takes over at third base with Asdrubal Cabrera to his left, and with the hat cocked a little sideways, and that's his trademark. Fernando Rodney takes over on the mound for the American League, and he's been lights out for the Tampa Bay Rays in 2012. It's finally his job to be the closer, be the back-end guy of the bullpen, and he's taken that opportunity and run. Has a great fastball, great changeup, and he deals up and away to McCutchen. That just missed, and the count 2-0. Andrus singled his first time up as a left-hander. Young Wade Miley gets loose for the NL. Here's a 2-0. Chop foul, 2-1.
With that hat cocked like Rodney wears it, it looks like the hat, and really his face is facing the on-deck circle. Got to be disconcerting to a hitter.
Here's a 2-1. Changed up on him, the count 2-2. The National League has used every position player available to Tony La Russa tonight. The American League is getting close, with Adam Dunn still left, but we'll probably see him before the end of the night. Here's a chopper to third. Waiting on it is Andrus, and he gets the out. What a good play by Elvis Andrus, the shortstop for the Rangers. Shorter throw, and he made a nice play to get the speedy Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah, I was thinking that's a shortstop's arm at third base, and he needed every bit of it to get McCutchen. Good play.
That will bring in Jay Bruce, who's 0 for 1, with LaHair on deck. Rodney gets a strike on Jay Bruce.
Elvis Andrus back to his old position.
Yeah, because of the shift for Bruce. So he's playing where a shortstop typically would, and everybody else on the infield's on the right side, as that's over but low. And the count 1-1. We had a chance to talk with Charlie Manuel, the manager of the Phillies, last year, and he was talking about the guy who played Jay Bruce. Charlie Manuel is one of the best students of the game and students of hitting and hitting instructors, and he thought this guy was just going to keep getting better and better and just be a superstar with his swing. Good pitch by Rodney, strike 2.
Tailing fastball, started off inside, floated back over the plate.
Manuel saying Jay Bruce doesn't know how good he could be, as he slashes it foul into the seats. And despite the score, this ballpark is still packed. They have had fun here in Kansas City, and I'll tell you, the city rolled out the red carpet for everybody coming here, and it's been a great event.
Outstanding job.
And the people in law enforcement could not have done a better job. That's Kinsler coming in from shallow right. 2 down with the bases empty. Brian LaHair will walk to the plate. Our Twitter poll results. What do you think is the 2012 All-Star Game MVP? Your votes, the majority of them went to Melky Cabrera. We'll see if you're right. Here's Brian LaHair. Great story, and a guy who has been very dramatic for the Chicago Cubs this season, hitting the home run ball. He grounds to the shortstop as Asdrubal Cabrera. Tough hop, made a tough play look easy. How about that? Let's go to the bottom of the 9th inning in Kansas City, Missouri. 8-0 as the NL takes the field, trying to win their 3rd straight. Glad you're with us at the 83rd Major League Baseball All-Star Game in Kansas City, Missouri. City of fountains, and you can find plenty of them here at Kauffman Stadium. Beautiful scene for a ball game, and Wade Miley, the rookie left-hander from the Arizona Diamondbacks, takes over. He started the season in the bullpen, made 3 relief appearances, then took over in the rotation the 23rd of April. He struggled his last 2 starts. Prior to that, he was lights out. Joe Mauer first up, and the Minnesota Twin has a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Joel Hanrahan and Jonathan Papelbon getting loose with the NL out in their pen, as that strike 2 poured in 93 from Miley. On Mauer, a 3-time batting champ, and he's in the hunt for that again. 3-time Gold Glove Award winner and a .324 career hitter. 1-2. 29 years old. He plays in a big park. His home runs are down, but his average .326, 4th best in the American League at the break.
One of the big reasons for that, with 2 strikes, he hits the ball to left field. He is an average hitter. And
get down Wade Miley.
Yeah, that's a typical Joe Mauer bat. Hangs tough, 2 strikes, goes the other way, and takes Miley up the middle.
We'll bring in Elvis Andrus with Billy Butler coming into the on-deck circle, and Andrus is looking into the dugout to see if LaRussa is going to pop out of there. Not yet. Elvis gets his first at bat. The only position player left for the AL is Adam Dunn. Plenty of arms left in the bullpen for the National League. Showed you 2 of them getting ready. There is a pitch over, but low ball 1 to Elvis Andrus. Adam Dunn is the guy left, the only position player on either side not to get into the ball game yet. Here's a 1-0. 2-0. So much talk about ballot box stuffing and voting so much on the internet for the San Francisco Giants and their fans. I think they knew what they were talking about.
I do too.
Here's Andrus with a fly ball down the right field line, foul. And you can look at that man and that man, and the guy who started the game, Pablo Sandoval, on the left, had a bases clearing 3-run triple in the first. Melky Cabrera, 2 hits, including a 2-run shot, batting right-handed. And then Matt Cain, the starter for the Giants, got the nod from LaRussa, made him look good with 2 shutout innings, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Andrus with another foul ball. Elvis already has 545 hits in his career, and he's only 23. He'll turn 24 until next month. It's his 2nd All-Star game. And he was very important to help solidify that defense in Texas and back up what is an outstanding pitching staff.
Such a musical tribute night here in Kansas City with different versions of Kansas City. And a reminder that Elvis was the first and only Elvis to play in a World Series.
Here is a 2-2. So says the kid from Memphis.
Yeah.
To my right. Full count from Miley, and this crowd wants to see Butler hit one more time. Runner at first, nobody out. Wade Miley's 3-2 pitch. Might be 2. Weird hop out at second, and then no chance. Force out at second base, and Terry Collins is going to come out and make a pitching change. That ovation is not for Terry Collins. Although Mets fans would stand and applaud his job this season with the New York Mets. The manager of the Mets takes the ball from Miley. Runner at first, 1 out. Butler will be the hitter. Hanrahan of the Pirates coming into pitch. ahead to Fox Saturday Baseball this Saturday as we return to the afternoon, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Mets and Braves, Cardinals and Reds, Tigers and Orioles. Hope you join us. It's presented by Budweiser. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. 1 on, 1 out. Andrews will take second base on a strike to Billy Butler from Joel Hanrahan, who has great action on his fastball that bores in on right-handed batters. Hanrahan, second All-Star game, 63 saves since the start of last year. So he's been busy for the Pirates and has that good velocity 98. The count 1-1 on Billy Butler. Now Papelbon getting loose. Here's a 1-1. Strike 2.
Looks like a splitter from Hanrahan. Nasty. Ought to change his name to Hammerhand. That stuff. I'm telling you. Really went down.
Here's a 1-2. Breaking ball foul. Leadoff hit by Mauer. Force out at second, hit into by Elvis Andrews. He took second. Wieters on deck. AL trying to avoid the 8th shutout in All-Star game history. A 1-2. That one gets back to the backstop as Ruiz barely touched it. Over to third goes Andrews with a count 2-2.
Well, you could hear Billy Butler. I think that was Billy Butler. That was audible. Thought that ball had hit him almost. Ruiz with no chance.
He needed that bigger glove to catch that. Wild pitch. Runner at third. 1 out. 2-2. That gets back to the backstop. It comes right back to Ruiz. And Andrews would have run into an out. And Hanrahan's all pumped up, trying to get the second out here in the ninth. Maintain the shutout.
American League down 8-0. Good play by Andrews. No sense forcing it.
Butler grounded out his first time up, so his second at bat. 3-2 pitch. Just got a piece.
Talking about electric stuff. That's a new term in baseball. That's what Hanrahan is showing tonight. My gosh.
You've seen Chapman. You've seen Kimbrel. Three-two. 2 out. Billy Butler strikes out for the second out of the inning, and now Ron Renicky gets to make a pitching change. And Papelbon will be called on to get the final out of the night. So we're seeing them all. Here's another guy with electric stuff. Papelbon, 2 out in the ninth. NL up by 8. Sox all-time saves leader has been everything the Phillies hoped they were getting when they signed him to a free agent deal, a 4-year deal in the offseason. The problem has been getting the ball to him with the lead. He's blown a couple, but he has thrown well, and he gets one by Wieters. Strike one with 2 out in the 9th inning, runner at third, 8-0 game, and Papelbon trying to end it and preserve the shutout. Adam Jones on deck. Here comes the 0-1 from the Philly right-hander. Up and away, a ball and a strike.
Jonathan Papelbon was pitching for the Red Sox when he was elected to the All-Star team in 2009, and he became the winning pitcher for the American League.
Phillies have won the NL East 5 straight years. The 1-1 pitch is hit off the end of the bat into right, should end it. That's Jake Bruce, and that's the National League winning at 8-0 here in Kansas City. It is a shutout, and Papelbon gets the final out of the night. Representing the Phillies with Carlos Ruiz, his catcher, Chipper Jones saying an all-star farewell. His second half will open up here shortly for the Atlanta Braves in a fight in the NL East. There's the winner, Matt Cain. The loser, Justin Verlander, with a 5-run first inning in a 2-hour, 59-minute game, and the National League has won 3 straight.
A thoroughly efficient game for the San Francisco Giant contingent representing the Bay Area in this all-star game.
Sandoval got the first big hit of the night in support of Matt Cain with a 3-run triple. Tony La Russa, who came back in essence out of retirement to manage, will walk away a winner. And for La Russa, it's his first win as a National League manager in an all-star game. He goes back into retirement, and he and his crew have just secured home field advantage for the National League in this upcoming World Series. So good lucks from Tony La Russa. Let's go down to the field and Aaron Andrews.
Joe, thanks so much. Pablo Sandoval joining me right now. 3-run scoring triple, and you got a big smile on your face because it's your first triple of the season. What was working for you against Justin Verlander, no less?
You know, I just get there in the home plate, you know, get a pitch I can hit. So he don't have command his fastball. You know, I just get a curve, you know, right there, hang it, so I put a ball in the wall.
There was a lot of talk heading into this game. Maybe David Wright should get the start at third base. You made it look like you didn't have any pressure on yourself here in this game. But what was your mindset coming in?
You know, when I came here, you know, I just want to put, you know, the situation, you know, the fans vote for me. So I just want to do my job there, you know, showing the fans they made the right choice. So I just made the job easy.
Joe Buck said San Francisco Giants fans knew what they were doing, stuffing those ballots. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Joe, back to you.
All right, Aaron, thank you, and congratulations to Pablo Sandoval, to Melky Cabrera, to Matt Cain in the National League. They've won 3 straight. We've got much more to come from Kansas City as we continue after this 8-0 win for the National League. Back after this.
That's a clown question, bro.
Our post-game show on Fox. 8-0 win for the National League. And the winning manager, Tony La Russa, standing by with Ken Rosenthal.
Tony, your last All-Star game, your last game, period. You told us before the game you would only enjoy it if it was a blowout in the late innings. You'd only think about yourself then. So, what was going through your mind in the late innings?
Kind of like the way we finished the year, so lucky that it all is falling into place. I was telling Terry and Ron and some of our guys, you just don't, a big game like this, you just don't get that 8-run lead late where you really think we're going to win this thing. So it's just lucky, like I've been 30 years.
How much fun was it for you to manage Bryce Harper in his first All-Star game and Chipper Jones in his last?
That's a good extreme because I have tremendous excitement and anticipation about what Bryce can be. Tremendous respect for what Chipper is. But I'll tell you, this whole team from the first day of the workouts, I mean, I had a great time with, and so did our staff, with everybody on the roster.
And Tony, you've been retired since the end of last season, but you got one more taste of it tonight. How much do you miss the competition?
Well, I like, grew up having a score at the end of 9, so I like the competition, but believe me, I don't want any more dugouts. So this worked out good. And Katie Feeney was all over me because we were 0-2. Now we can say we're 1-2. Finally got a National League win.
You retire a winner. Tony, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Tony La Russa. Thanks, Ken. Let's go down to the field and Matt Vasgersian.
Joe, thanks. Joining me for the presentation of the Arch Award Trophy for the Ted Williams Most Valuable Player presented by Chevrolet, Commissioner Bud Selig, the Vice President of Global Marketing for Chevrolet, Chris Perry. Commissioner, take it away.
Thank you, Matt. Congratulations, Melky. You're winning the Ted Williams MVP Award for your terrific performance tonight. It's the largest margin the National League has ever won by, and 2 for 3 with a home run and 2 runs batted in. And congratulations, and thank you, Chevrolet, and here's the award, and you've had quite a night.
Chris has something to give to you as well. Chris.
Melky, it's a pleasure to be here, and Chevrolet is a proud sponsor of baseball at all levels. In fact, over 1,800 of our dealers across the country support youth baseball in their local communities to the benefit of over 3 million children. And in honor of your great performance tonight, we want to do a home field makeover for a youth baseball field in your hometown. And for your personal accomplishment, there it is. I'm proud to give you the keys to a brand new 2013 Camaro Convertible ZL1. Enjoy it.
Melky, congratulations. Tell everybody, who do we have here with you today, by the way? Who are these lovely ladies?
And thank you, the fans, my family, and the opportunity for the All-Star here. I like it here and surprise for MVP, but thank you, the fans.
And who is this? We got Mom here. Who else is here with you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, my mom, my grandmother, and my family here. And a surprise for me, the MVP, but thank you, everybody, the fan.
Melky, the last time the All-Star game was here in Kansas City, 1973, you weren't even born. A Giant was the MVP. Here we are nearly 40 years later. Another Giant is the MVP. Do you have a message for the fans of San Francisco who seem to enjoy when this event comes to the Midwest?
Yeah, and the fan, Kansas City, and San Francisco, everybody, thank you, the fan.
A very happy MVP, Joe Buck, as we send it back to you upstairs.
All right, Matt, congratulations to Melky Cabrera. They call him the Milkman, and he definitely delivered here in this All-Star game.
Hombre de leche, delivery.